Well, howdy, y'all. My name is Randy, aka Banjo Randy, and I'm a totally blind woodworker. Getting back into my woodworking, when I say totally blind, I mean I have no physical eyesight anymore. And a bit of housekeeping, this is an old pair of prescription glasses that I used to wear when I could see, but I just use them now as safety glasses. I wanted to show y'all the project that I've been working on. I've been building some desk sets. I've got two different ones here of two different sizes. There's four that are this size right here, and then I have 8 of the size like these right here. Now the wood that I used in these was walnut, maple, and cherry in several different configurations. Now, the bigger ones, like I say, there's 4 of these. And on this particular one right here, it has a walnut base, and it also has a cherry face. Now on the big clocks and the small clocks, all the back faces are maple on all of them. Like I say, there's 2 of the bigger ones that have a walnut base with a cherry face, and then there's 2 that have a cherry base with a walnut face. And again, the cherry, I put 2 witness marks on it that I can feel, so I know that that's cherry. On the bigger ones right here, this is what I call the clock body, the top part, and of course this is the base, the bottom. On this particular, the bigger ones, the 4 bigger ones, there are 2 holes in the top where you can put a pen or pencil or whatever a person would like to put in there. 2 pencils or 2 pens or whatever. And the hole size that I use this time is 5/8 diameter. On the previous desk sets that I made, I used a 1/2 inch hole, but I think the 5/8 works out much better. Oh, and the hole for the clock insert, it takes a 2-inch fit up or clock insert on the bigger ones here. Now the smaller ones, there's only 1 hole in the top of it, and of course it's 5/8 diameter as well. And the hole size accommodates a 1 7/16 inch fit up or clock insert, they also call them. Now, on all the clock bodies, what I've done was I used a 3/16 inch round over bit, and on all the back faces, I just simply used the round over portion to round them over, and on all the front faces of all the clock bodies, I used the round over, plus I left a shoulder on there on just the faces of all the clock bodies. And also on all the bases, on both the front and the back and the ends, I did the same 3/16 inch round over with the shoulder. And I also rounded all the corners of all the bases so there wouldn't be no sharp corners, as well as all 4 of the ends of the clock body. I also rounded them over where there wouldn't be no sharp edges or anything there. And also there's a 3/8 inch reveal on both ends and the front and back. Now, how I set the clock on there, I used glue, of course, and screws from the bottom here. I made a jig, which is this right here, just some pieces I put together. And there's a couple of holes, a hole in the bottom right here so that I can put the screws in from the underside. And this is a piece that I cut from a 2x4. I used a 3/8 inch rabbiting bit, and let's see. I took an old piece of 2x4, and on one end, I took that rabbiting bit and I made a 3/8 by 7/8 rabbet along one of the ends and on one of the edges, and then I ripped it down to the correct size that I needed on the table saw. And how this works is I took the base and I slid it. Well, first I secured one of the end pieces here and one of the sides, and I took the base and I made sure that it was up against the stop here on the end, as well as against the side right there. And then I took the other piece. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but that's the rabbet, the 3/8 rabbet width right there, then the height right here. And I just simply put this other side piece on, making sure that it bumped up against the end piece, the end stop. And then I took and put the other end piece on, and that's how I centered everything. And then of course I put, glue on the bottom of the base, on the bottom of the clock body, and putting on the base here, and then secured it from the underside with a couple of screws. That's how I was able to get those centered on there. Takes a lot of the guesswork out by doing it that way. Now the finish that I'm planning on using on these is going to be a tongue oil finish. And I'll probably follow that up with a couple coats of paste wax. Now on my previous clocks, desk sets that I made, I used water-based polyurethane, but I just wanted to do something different this time, try some different finishes. But I just wanted to touch base with y'all folks and kind of show y'all what I've been working on. And I just want to take a minute to say to anybody out there that might be watching or listening to this video, if you have a disability, never ever give up on your hopes and dreams, because there are things that people with disabilities can do. Now, I do have a disability. I'm totally blind now. I have no physical eyesight no more, but I do not consider myself disabled. And also to all of those of us who like to do woodworking, let's always be mindful of our surroundings in the workshop. Always use the proper safety equipment such as eye protection and hearing protection when necessary. And again, I hope that this video was a blessing, and y'all folks have a good one.